Hello and happy Wednesday. I am Colleen, and today we are going to be talking about dental front office administrator job descriptions. Okay, so if you were with us last week or you got to watch the recording from last week, we talked about dental operations managers. Okay, and we talked a little bit about, who they are, what they do, and some of the qualifications that you'll want to consider as a potential employer. In order to qualify applicants for a dental operations manager role, and of course some of the things that you'll want to include in the job description when you go to post it. Okay, so we talked about all of that last week, so we're basically talking about the same stuff this week but for a dental front office administrator. Okay, so we'll be talking about a dental front office administrator, who they are, what they do, some of the qualifications that you'll want to consider adding to a job description, and just some of the information that you'll definitely want to include when you go to post that job. Okay, so I love doing streams like this. I love talking about topics like this because even though this content is largely for potential employers and for those who write job descriptions to post online and get your applicants so you can review and hire someone, this is also a great stream for job seekers. Okay. And also those who are kind of like trying to decide on a career path within the dental industry, right? Because we're going to be talking a lot again about this position, what they do, and you can absolutely see if it's a great match for you. If you are a job seeker and you're currently looking to get hired for a dental front office administrator role, then we're going to be talking about some of the things that you may want to include in your resume, in your cover letter, in order to create documents that are illustrative of your related skill sets and hopefully get you to that interview phase of the process. Okay, so this stream is definitely for everyone today. Okay, so that's what we're going to be talking about. But before we dive too deeply into that, if you are new to these live streams, you may not be familiar with Princess Dental Staffing. So let's talk about them real quick. So, Princess Dental Staffing is an online dental job board, and they have positions available within the dental industry, dental receptionists, dental assistants, dental hygienists, dentists, and a lot of different areas. Okay, so if you are a potential employer, visit princessdentalstaffing.com and you can find their contact information, their phone number, email address, or you can live chat with someone on their website. If you're a job seeker, Princess Dental Staffing is where you can find their current positions that are posted. They've got full-time, part-time, temporary, and permanent roles. So you can peruse those and see if you find anything in your area that you'd like to apply for. It's also really easy to create a profile and get your information in front of hiring managers as well if you're a job seeker. And while you're on princessdentalstaffing.com, you can also check out their blog, which covers a lot of the same topics that we cover in these live streams. Speaking of which, each week Princess Dental Staffing is bringing you a new live stream covering a new topic regarding your career in the dental industry. So if you don't want to miss out on future streams, be sure to follow our page or subscribe to our channel. If you can't watch these streams live, be sure to visit us on Facebook or YouTube, and you can watch the recorded postings. And if you like the content we're bringing you, be sure to drop us a like. If you want to be part of the conversation, drop us a comment with any thoughts, insights, questions, or comments on, the content that we're discussing, or, just the dental industry as a whole. Okay, we always welcome your comments. Okay, so let's talk about dental front office administrators. Let's first start off by talking about who they are. What is a dental front office administrator? So essentially, their name is pretty descriptive, right? They manage the front office of a dental office or a dental practice. They're kind of in the front office area, making sure everything is going the way that it is supposed to go. They are generally responsible for managing dental front office assistants or, front office receptionists, and just generally making sure that the office runs smoothly. Okay, so that's kind of like the overarching, in a nutshell, what they do. Okay, and that's who they are. Now, like I said, last week we talked about dental operations managers. So this might seem a little along the same lines, right? Like they have like overlapping job duties, and they might actually. Generally, a dental front office administrator reports to the dental operations manager. So there's definitely some overlap there. But generally, dental office manager or dental front office managers, like I said, they usually report to the operations manager, so they kind of handle things on a more detailed scale. Whereas, a dental operations manager might handle operations kind of on a from a higher level, bigger picture view. Okay, essentially, is what the major difference is. Now, dental front office administrators may also go by terms or titles such as coordinator, front office manager, front office administrator, front admin. So there may be a few different job titles to describe the same role, essentially. Okay, so it really just kind of depends on the office. So if you're a job seeker and you're searching for this type of role, it might help to search for not necessarily a specific job title, but specific terms: dental office, front office, administration, administrative, those sorts of terms if you're kind of perusing on a job search platform. Okay, such as Princess Dental Staffing or somewhere else. Okay, so that's essentially what a dental front office administrator is, and kind of the difference between them and a dental operations manager. So let's get a little bit more into the nitty gritty, right? Because that's kind of an you know just overseeing the front office operations. It's just a very, in a nutshell, kind of overview of this role and kind of what they do. So let's get down into the nitty gritty so we can have a really good idea of why dental front office administrators are so essential to the running of the office. So, first of all, customer service, right? You're in the front office, customer service is definitely a must, right? Because you will be, working with patients quite a bit, face to face, maybe on the phone or via email. So you'll definitely be greeting patients and working with them. And of course, tying into that is telephone etiquette and telephone reception duties as well, right? So you're going to be working a lot with patients, of course, when they come in for their appointments face to face, but also via phone. A lot of patients call in to, set their appointments, to ask questions, to get information about, billing and all of those different inquiries. So you'll also need good phone etiquette skills as a dental front office administrator. Okay. And then, of course, tying into that, email, right? So you've got to be able to communicate digitally as well via email, or maybe even via chat. If you work for a dental office that has like live chat, you may be over that as well. So written communication is definitely going to be crucial as well. So all of this kind of falls under, patient care and service, but it's going to be a lot of customer service via phone, via email, face to face. So communication is definitely key. Customer service is very key here. Okay. Additionally, as a dental front office administrator, you may be responsible for scheduling as well, right? You're, talking to a lot of these patients face to face, via phone, via email. A lot of them want to be scheduled, right? So you're going to be scheduling, usually using things like Dentrix, EagleSoft, or, those sorts of applications to, help schedule patients. Um, you may also need to work with unscheduled treatment reports and follow up patients who may have missed their appointment, rescheduling them. So there's a lot of scheduling going on and making sure that the office runs smoothly, using some great scheduling techniques, right? Next, patient account management. Okay. So, patient account management, what does that entail? Well, that entails a lot of things like billing, financial arrangements, sometimes collections, but essentially it's having to do with finances, the movement of money, essentially. Okay. And then, piggybacking off of that, insurance claims, right? So you may oversee the insurance claim process, including billing, maybe even coding, and kind of all of those operations. So there's a huge financial element here as well, right? To be a dental front office administrator. Okay. In addition to that, filing. Okay. So depending on the office that you work in or work for, you may be filing actual paper files, or you may be filing digitally, right? In a filing system. But every patient needs a file. Every patient needs a record. So it's important to be able to have it's important to be organized and be able to file those things appropriately and accurately so that you can retrieve them, right? So then anyone can retrieve them when they need to. So whether that's paper, digital, or maybe a combination of both. Okay. Opening and closing the office. So, as a dental front office administrator, a lot of the times you will be the one responsible for opening and closing the office. Okay, so opening the office, may entail, setting things up, making sure everything is clean and organized before your patients come in, before your team members come in, so that when the office officially opens, you can get ready and kind of hit the ground running with with the operations of the day. Closing, of course, means, putting everything back where it was, tidying up, and making sure that everyone leaves the office safely. And then, of course, closing up the office and making sure that it is safe and secure and ready for the next day as much as possible. Okay. Next, team building, right? So, as a dental front office administrator, you may be responsible for coordinating team huddles, meetings, training, and all of those sorts of things, right? So, just really supporting your team and making sure that they are prepared and ready for each patient. Okay. Next, maintaining office supplies. So you may be responsible for, office supply inventory and just making, just kind of keeping track of those levels and making sure that you have enough supplies so that everyone can do what they need to do in order to continue office operations. Okay. And patient assistance and those sorts of things. Okay. Alrighty, so that's a little bit more in depth what a dental front office administrator does. So, with all of that in mind, let's talk about qualifications, right? What qualifies someone to be a dental front office administrator? Okay. So number one, let's talk about education. Okay, so generally most dental offices are going to require at least a high school diploma. A lot of them will like to see some training as well, right? So training or education, such as like maybe a degree in business or business administration, maybe training or certification in like bookkeeping or things of that nature. Okay, so definitely at least a high school diploma. So if you're a job seeker, make sure you include an education section. If your highest degree is high school diploma, go ahead and include that. And if you have any extra training that is related to what you want to do, go ahead and include that as well, right? So things like I said, business, bookkeeping, all of those areas. Okay. Next, experience. So generally, most potential employers will look for 3 to 5 years experience as a front office administrator or manager, or maybe just 3 to 5 years of experience in the front office of a dental office. Okay, so generally about 3 to 5 years is what you're looking for. Okay. Alrighty, so and if you're a job seeker, make sure that you are demonstrating 3 to 5 years of experience. Generally, the rule of thumb in resume writing is generally 10 to 15 years experience. But if you have 3 to 5 years experience in the dental industry, make sure you're including that. Okay. Next, skills and qualifications. So let's list out a few skills that, as a potential employer, you'll definitely want to see in applicants, and if you are an applicant, that you'll definitely want to make sure that you include in your application documents, resume, cover letter, and those sorts of things. Friendly, great personality. Of course, you're going to be working a lot with patients. That just makes sense, right? Enjoys working with people, upbeat, positive attitude. All of those definitely go in line with, with customer service, which we already said there's going to be a lot of, right? Dependable, self-starter, problem solver. As a dental front office administrator, you're likely going to be solving a lot of problems to make sure that those operations continue, without obstacles. Detail oriented, critical thinker, team player, right? You're going to be working a lot with your team. Organized, flexible, integrity, writing skills, and verbal communication as skills as well. Okay, so all of those skills are things that you're going to want to look for, maybe even mention in your job description if you're a potential employer, and definitely things that you'll want to include and allude to in your resume documents if you are a job seeker. Okay. Alrighty, so that's education experience, some key skills that you'll want to include. Now let's talk about salary. Okay, so according to salary.com, dental front office administrators make between $56,318 annually to $71,895. Okay, so there's almost a $20,000 range there. So on the lower end, it's going to be about mid 50s. On the high end, it's going to be low 70s, okay, annually, okay. And in a lot of the job postings that were viewed by Princess Dental Staffing, they found 25 to 35 an hour was pretty prevalent, right? So 25 to 35 an hour, that's about right for the salary range according to salary.com. So those definitely align pretty closely, okay. All right. So that is our stream on dental front office administrators, who they are, what they do, and how to write a great job description for them. But of course, a lot of the information can, like I said, apply to job seekers and those deciding on a career within the dental industry as well. If this sounds like something that you're interested in, definitely. Take a look at your resume documents, see what skills you already possess, and make sure to highlight those when you go to apply for these roles. And if you're a potential employer, make sure that you're creating a robust and strong applicant pool by being descriptive, concise, but impactful in your job descriptions by mentioning those qualifications, those job duties, and all of the like. Okay. All right, so thanks for being here with me today, everyone. We will be back next week with a new topic, a new stream covering a new topic regarding your career in the dental industry. Until then, have a great week, have a great weekend, continue to stay safe out there. I'll see you soon.